to 70 and beyond. I hope that all of you are sheltered in place, hunkered down, and are able to take some time to just be, because that's what this is all about right now. Just being, and being at home with your family, taking walks in nature, all that kind of thing. And this morning, I want to talk about resilience and survivor mindsets. So one of the benefits of all of this going on for me personally is that I am coming out with a 4-part certification course on disasters. And the first one is already done, and it's kind of an overview of how it affects the industry, how it affects the real estate industry, how it affects communities, and it talks about each disaster and what you need to do. The second one is one I'm working on right now. It's got 3 parts and sections to it. It's called Mindset, Leadership, and Communication, what you need to know in disasters. So this is kind of an opportune time for me to actually experience it firsthand and give some good advice. So there's going to be 2 other books or courses. One of them is on insurance and mortgages and services, and the other one is going to be on man-made disasters, things like pandemics. So I'm really excited about getting those both done, and since we have to be hunkered down anyway, I'm hoping I'll have them all done by the end of April. I also have a book coming out the end of next week. I'm finishing it up this next week, and it's called Disasters in You, and I've changed the title. It's called Disasters in You, Hurricanes to Earthquakes to Pandemics, What You Need to Know. So look forward to talking to you more about that. But now let's talk about one of the things that I talk about in my course, my mindset course, is what kind of mindset do you have? Last week, I talked about how to turn stress into challenge and how to stay positive. And today I want to talk about resilience and survivor mindsets. So I've got my PowerPoint up, so you'll have to bear with me if I'm not looking directly at the camera, because I just wrote it, so I want to be able to jog my memory by looking at it. First of all, I love this quote: life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. That's from Steve Maraboli in his book, Life, the Truth, and Being Free. I think we're all experiencing that. And what is the strengths and what are the resilience tools and things that we can take from this? When you talk to first responders or other people that have survived disasters, they all agree that your mindset is the most critical way of getting through something. You have to have the right mindset for preparation, for surviving and recovering. And the more resilient you are, the quicker it is to recover. So resilience. So what makes a resilience mindset? And there was a group that got together in 2015 called, it was the United Nations, and it was about, let me find my page here, I'm sorry. It was the UN, it was called the UN World Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction in Sendai, Japan. And they recognized the need for focused action on resilience in 4 areas. First of all, identifying disasters. And second of all, let me find it. Because I've forgotten it here. Here we go. Here we go. I had pulled up the wrong page. Sorry. Okay. They found that they had to understand the risk of disasters. They had to understand the what can be done to strengthen governances so that they are better and manage a disaster risk easier. I think that's exactly what's happening right now with COVID-19. We're finding ways to not just our teams out there that are the doctors and the nurses and the people that are on the front lines, but also just us in general. we have to find ways to be stronger and be ready to be better and manage our own lives while this disaster is going on. Also, they said investing in disasters, risk reduction for resilience. In the disaster world, or in the FEMA world and the government world, they talk about resilience a lot and how important it is for communities and individuals and businesses to be resilient. So what are some things you can do to be more resilient? And is there something that you need to invest in? Maybe a class, maybe a book, something like that, that you can do to actually enhance your knowledge of how to get through something like this. And then they also say enhancing disaster preparedness to effectively respond and to build back better in recovery. So it's really important that we learn from our events that happen in our lives. And this is certainly an opportunity to figure out how to be more resilient and how to be better the next time something like this happens. So here's some questions that I had put together from my workbook and some things that you can do. First of all, you need to write down what you can do in areas that you can improve and be more resilient. So you have to identify how resilient you really are. Some people are extremely resilient and spring back and bounce back, and others not so much. They get stuck. So if you need to figure out what it is that you can do to become more resilient. Examine what your strengths are and what you can do to improve those strengths. So what are the things that you can use that you already have a strength in to improve your resilience? To be resilient, we need to be in good physical shape. So the good news is we can still walk around our neighborhoods and our parks and be able to get some exercise. Exercise helps us to stay present, so that's very critical. And have a daily practice of writing things down. I can't express this enough. This is really an important time to write down things that you're grateful for and celebrate the successes. Maybe the success is you just made it through another day sitting in your house watching TV, but write it down because it's one day closer to when this will all be over. Now, do you consider yourself a survivor? So there's a survivor mindset that is very critical to getting through. You can either have a survival mindset or you can have a fixed mindset. And fixed is when you're inward and you're not moving forward and you don't want to step outside of your box. Survivor mindset provides strength. You're adaptable. You're able to, just like what we're having to do right now, we're having to adapt to this whole new norm, if you will, at least in the short term. And then you have to have an attitude that we can do this, and we all can do this. We can all be stronger and better and come out of this being stronger and better. And we have to be very flexible. Obviously, in this situation, we have to be extremely flexible. I quote House in my workbook, and he says, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes." Now, if this isn't a change, I don't know what is. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. This is what it is, and we have to step up to the plate, be present, listen to our inner voice. If we're thinking about going somewhere, listen to our inner voice. Is it really that critical that we need to go? Be stocked up on supplies, and let things flow naturally forward at whatever way they like. So letting everything be and letting you be is an important part of surviving this. And so some of the things that I ask people is, did your attitude reflect positively and knowing that it was what you were supposed to be doing? So if you come from a mindset that's positive rather than negativity, like the news and everything we're watching, and for those of you that are watching 24/7 news, get off the TV. It's not helping. Yes, you want to be informed on what's going on, but hearing about all of it, all that does is increase the amount of cortisol in our brain and reduce the amount of oxytocin. And we need all the oxytocin. That's the cuddle hormone. We need all of that we can get right now. So stop watching 24-hour news. Put some music on. Put something that's going to make you feel good. Watch a good, funny movie. One of the things I'm going to be doing this week is I'm going to be putting together some 1-minute videos to bring a little levity to this. So if you have anything that's heartwarming or funny that you would like to share with me, please do, because I'm going to be looking for material. I think Susie is going to come out to do this. Also, did you have the ability and willpower to stick to the things that got difficult? So during this difficult time, what are you doing to stick to the things that you need to do to be safe and to be smart? Did you have a clear vision? So were you prepared for a disaster? Maybe not a pandemic, but preparation helps to create an attitude that I can get through this because I have resilience and I am a survivor and I have what it takes to get through, both in physical emergency kits and plans as well as attitude. Did you celebrate a success? Celebrate those successes. Right now, you may not feel like. I mean, I just talked to my son today, and there's challenges with both of his girls go to college, and there's some challenges with schooling from home, and I'm sure many of you are experiencing that. Just what can you celebrate about that? The fact is that they're able to go to school. Just think, 30 years ago, this would have been impossible. We wouldn't have been able to have things continue, businesses continue on. So think about the successes that you've had around you and yourself. And then write down those successes and those things you're grateful for, because as you write them down, you engage all 10 brain centers, and that will help you to bring a smile to your face. Find something to laugh about each and every day. That there's lots of fun things out there now. I'm getting lots of little pictures and things that are really comical. This morning on the news, they talked about a woman giving birth in the toilet paper aisle of a store. Now, that's a whole new concept, right? If they're empty with toilet paper, just think they could turn it into a hospital. So anyway, okay, so my message for this week is find ways to be resilient. We can do this. We can do this. Find ways to survive and thrive and come out of this. What are you going to do that's going to be, you're going to be better when this is all over. When we all emerge from our self-quarantine and come out of to be together again, we'll have so much to celebrate if we come from that attitude. So today, I just want to say, I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all hanging in there. And I know I'm finding this time to think inward about who I am, what I can do to help. And that's why I'm so anxious to get this book out and finish this course, because I think it can make a real difference in people's lives. And if I can help one person, then my job is done. So hang in there and hunker down, and I'll be back next week with another To 70 and Beyond, and I'll probably be talking about my book more. Anyway, love you all. Be safe. Bye.